I guess maybe this video will be about my bullshit and gossip meter that has just blown up. You know, I'm maxed out. My bullshit and gossip meter reminds me of when I was a kid, and remember those glass thermometers that they put under your tongue that had the little red stuff in and went up to 98.6 or whatever it was, or if you were sick it went to 102, 103, 104. So one of my schemes to get out of going to school, which I had a lot of them, some of them worked, some of them didn't. One had to do with those little thermometers, and there was going to be a test that day, and I thought, it'll be another day I don't go to school, because I'm just a very sickly kid. Actually, I was almost never sick. I just did things that made it seem like I was sick so I could get out of doing the work of going to school. So one day, with this thermometer, in order to document or to show that I was actually ill, I took this thermometer, because my mom was checking, and I ran it under the hot water in the sink of the bathroom. I ran it till the water was really hot. And the thermometer only goes to about 108, which I think if a person has 108, you know, and where it goes, the red stuff goes way to the top, I think you're just about ready to die. So I thought, I'll just give myself a little a temperature which shows that I'm sick, and I'll get out of taking this test in school. I don't want to do the work. So I go in the bathroom with this thermometer and run the water till it's really hot. Put the thermometer under the hot water thing, and it blows the top right off the thermometer. And I just figured, well, that didn't work. I'll just tell my mom that I dropped it and it broke. But actually, I blew it up. And that's kind of what my bullshit and gossip meter is doing right now. I mean, there's so much bullshit, especially around all the political stuff. And people, it's okay for them to just lie to us. And they think we're just going to believe whatever they say. And I'd have to call that bullshit. Blew the top right off my bullshit meter. We have a lot of gossip in this little neighborhood. It's a very limited sized little neighborhood, 50 houses. Only about 15 people know or interact with other people, but you know, the gossip just fucking flies. We had that kid that killed his family not too long ago, and one of my neighbors who's she was in retail, but I think she's had some therapy or something, because without any training at all, she knows that, well, now she's some kind of medical doctor, or thinks she is, because she said the kid had his frontal lobe didn't develop properly, which might be the case, but you can't prove it by me, because I don't know about that stuff. But people just talk bullshit all the time, so I think we have to have a bullshit filter. So one of the things I've been thinking about lately around all this bullshit stuff, actually Not one thing, but several. But now I'm not even going to talk about those. I got something else that just came into my head. I have people up here that they make quite a bit of money, and they have these big houses, and and they're just couple. They're just a couple. They don't need the big house, but they have the big house, and they have crap everywhere, and they have to hire people in to clean their house. How big a mess can two people make? You know, and dusting doesn't take long. Even I dust once in a while, you know. I figured if I do it poorly, my wife won't want me to do it anymore. So I've kind of had a strategy to dust poorly, you know, like not dust all of the top of something, but leave some streaks of dust. And then she won't ask me to do it. I kind of live by the motto of, one of my beliefs is, if you don't want someone to ask you to do something, never do it well. Always screw up. So what was I going to talk about? These people with the big houses, and they can't even clean their own houses, but they're religious. Some of them are Mormons. You know how they have big families and big houses, and then when the kids get old enough and they get away, you know, they've been in Mormon jail long enough, so they get away. Not all of them, but some of them. I think they call those the ones that exit the religion. I think they're called Jack Mormons. I got one next door. He's got a big house. He doesn't have no kids that live there, any kids that live there, but they have a big house, and because that's what the Mormons do. And Mormons usually make quite a bit of dough, you know. And they're in a. I worked for a guy who was a Mormon in the sports car racing, the vintage stuff, and you know, his kids grew up, and I think a couple of the girls continued to be Mormons, but. Well, I didn't know the oldest boy, but the boy I knew wore fingernail polish and all that kind of stuff. I just wondered if that's okay in the Mormon church. And I don't know what they base their Mormonism on. I think they have their own book, and I think some of it is part and parcel of the Bible, but I don't know that for sure. But what I do know, well, actually I don't. What I don't know, but what I can talk about that might sound like I know what I'm talking about. You know, I've read a couple pages of the Bible. They're actually pretty thick, you know. I saw them when I was racing. They had some in the drawers at the motels and stuff. I think those are Gideon. And I don't know if the Mormons go with the St. James version or they have the Mormon version. But there must be all these different kinds of Bibles, because people that belong to religions that don't believe the same thing, they must have a Bible that says something else. So I think the one I read the 2 pages in, I'm not positive about this, but I think it said that you should not have a house that is larger than what you can clean yourself. So all these people around here in these big houses, they hire Mexicans or something to come in and house cleaning service. They they can't even clean their own house, but they're religious. So, you know, now that I think about it, and since my bullshit meter is broken, I'm just bullshitting. And I don't think I ever read that in the Bible. Well, I know I didn't read the Bible. I don't even think I read 2 pages of the Bible. But it makes for a good story. So all those people that don't clean their own house, they're just lazy shits. That's the whole deal. Or they're too busy making money. Maybe that's it. So, see ya. It's the 3rd, 25. And I think I'll go dust the house. You know, I just finished a video and it had to do with whatever I was talking about. I'm so old I don't even remember. But I know that I was talking about people that don't do their own work around their house. And I've always done mine. So since it's the first part of January 2024, and I need to do a little remodel of my studio set here, and I'm old and I have a bad back, that I'm going to show you how I work. So I have a heating pad in my chair, and this part, the controller lays on the floor, and I keep running over the cord, and I almost cracked this controller once. So in order to, I don't even have to hire in an electrician to do this, but some of my neighbors would. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take a tie wrap and tie wrap it, the controller part, to the arm of the chair. That'll show those lazy pieces of shit how you do your own work, won't it? Good